Okay, so I just played an interesting game. And this one is a 15-point game with top card revealed. Top card reveal doesn't really change too much of the game. I guess it reduces variability and adds like a different under level calculation. Um, so when I read this board, yeah, we have the two blue cards on the bottom, which makes it less strategic to save here. And then we have the two white cards that are coming as well. Blue and white are obviously the strongest strategy here, with the 7 card white at the top and then the 7 card blue. There's also the two blue cards in the middle. So immediately I think that the blue-white noble strategy is the way to go. And rather than save, I'm just going to sort of buy things as efficiently as possible. And I think one of the reasons why I chose this game, it's because it sort of highlights a frame in which I think about Splendor, which is that it is a race. So, you and your opponent are basically racing to get to 15 points in the least amount of turns. Whoever gets there in the least amount of turns wins. So each of your strategies sort of dictates how fast you're running, basically. And then there are things you can do like saving and coin holding that can slow your opponent down. So, it doesn't matter if you take 50 turns, as long as your opponent takes 51 turns, then you win. So the game is about beating your opponent in a race. So let's see how this race plays out. And I've already sort of talked about what strategy I'm going to take based on sort of the first view of this board. So I'm going to take these because I'm going to set up for both the white and the blue cards. Interesting enough, my opponent is clearly indicating a different strategy here. I'm going for green and he's going for blue. So we're already both communicating to each other that we're taking a slightly different strategy. I'm happy to take green here because I do also really want this white card. But yeah, first I take the cheaper blue card. Obviously, between these two, taking the cheaper blue card, again with this race, I'm only paying 3 coins versus 4, so that makes me slightly faster. He's going to save the blue up there, so he's already indicating that he thinks to win the race is to go for points, these sort of cheap point cards quickly, giving me the opportunity to take the 3rd green, which allows me to buy the white. And he's sort of not even caring about blocking me at all from buying this white card, which I thought was pretty interesting. So obviously he's just going to go for these the combo of the two blue point cards, whereas I'm going to be going after the bottom cards. So it is a very different read on the board. And again, we're just going to see who gets there faster. So he gets the 2-point card. So far, neither of us are blocking each other from what we want to do. We're just both taking 2 different paths as to what we think is the fastest way to finish this game. I get the white card, which is I really wanted. Another white card comes up. And then he saves the blue card. So now that he's saved both his cards, his strategy is very obvious. He is just going to try to get those cards out there, and that's a ton of points. And for me, it's pretty clear that from the beginning I've been going for the noble strategy. This top card up here is really important for the strategy. The moment that he saved this card, and he already had the other blue card saved, um, indicated for me that to win this race, I need to slow him down. So you'll see that part of my strategy will be holding the blue coins. So I also need to save the bottom blue card because that's critical for him to set up. And so I want it, but it's also to slow him down. So he'll save the white card, which was useful to me, but not super useful because there are 2 white cards at the bottom still. So now we're going to sort of see this race play out. We also see that there are 2 at the top here. There are 2 white cards here, or the 2 blue, 7 whites. Further exemplifying that blue-white, this noble, is going to be a strong strategy. Okay, so let's see it play out. I know that I'm going to be going for this noble strategy, which is more of a build the bottom cards, as well as I'm going to be trying to stall my opponent by hoarding blue. So he gets the first thing out, I get to take. He saves that guy, which I don't know that that's the right move. I think he's trying to slow me down from getting too much white to be able to play both of these 2 cards. So that's a counter move, I guess. And now I want to sort of free up coins so I can both block blue with hoarding, as well as go for the noble strategy. So he's going to be able to set up white, and once he does that, again, I'm going for the setup. This is a really good card for me, which is why now I'm thinking, okay, I can set up both nobles here, slow down the pace of the game by hoarding. Now he's got enough white and sort of freedom here, and so I'm going to save this 5-point card because with the card in his hand, that makes 15 total, so that's super fast. If instead of the 5-point card, he has the 4-point card, that's just 14 points, so that's an additional point that he needs to get. So this is a really critical moment where I need to save the 5-point card over the 4. That in this race is critical. And once I do that, he's got to save that one because that's part of his strategy. And I'm going to, again, within the sort of race concept, if he gets to the 7 coins for white and plays it immediately, that's super fast for him. So I need to slow him down by preventing him from being able to do that. So I save a card here. So sort of we see that play out where in this turn, he just sort of takes a green card from the bottom, which is not a super fast move. It's not really what his strategy wants to do here. And so, yeah, I get to play the blue for my hand. And yeah, we're seeing him slow down a bit. There's not really that many options for him. And now now that we slowed him down, I can take the white and give up the white coin. Since, similarly, he was going to buy white anyways. So we're seeing how my use of coin hoarding is slowing him down. So now my strategy is pretty clear. I'm actually going to go for both nobles, which means I need to get black. And I have the white card here too, so I kind of have all the cards. I just need to play them out. And yeah, again, we're going to just see who's faster here. This card on top is good for me, so I save it. We're racing. He plays the 7 white. I play the white card. He saves this green card. I don't know if that's important to the strategy. the strategies just play out. And it ends up being 16-15, so an extremely close game, where he basically has, I mean, super efficient. He was actually incredibly efficient if we look at the cards that he played, and these are all super efficient cards. So in some way, yeah, his strategy was very good. And so that's what I found this game beautiful, because despite that, how efficient his strategy was, it was, I mean, almost perfect, given the board. The way that we set this up, by combining hoarding, and sort of slowing things down, we were able to win. And so, yeah, I think it's a super interesting game. The last takeaway again is, in this one-on-one game, it's a race, where you're setting up a strategy for yourself and you're seeing how fast you can run, but at the same time you're sort of like looking over at your opponent and seeing where they're at, and each stage of the game, the idea is you're gonna finish the game before they do. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think.